I'm Helen Kempster and I'm a careers consultant at the Careers Group, University of London. The Careers Group, University of London is an organisation which offers career development and other sort of related services to educational institutions and other organisations and also to individuals. So it's really anything that is helping people to make a next step towards career success. I support students, prospective students and recent graduates in a number of different ways. It could be through one-to-one guidance, that can be short consultations if they just have quick questions that they want to ask. It can be longer, in-depth career guidance interviews, and also practice interviews. So if someone has a job interview coming up, a sort of mock run-through of that as well. I also liaise closely with academic departments within the university that I work in to develop bespoke careers education programmes. We also do kind of workshops and events that are for all students. It might be interactive sessions, sometimes fairs where we have various employers coming onto campus, and so we're supporting the students there to access employment. We also set up specific internships or other placement opportunities so students can get work experience. Lots of students that I see worry that they don't have enough work experience or relevant work experience to access the sort of opportunities that they want. And in most cases there are things that they can do to present themselves in an attractive way to employers. Mostly it's thinking about what skills the employers are looking for. So they might not have relevant work experience that relates to that job, but they will have done things that will show that they can communicate with other people, work in a team, show leadership, use a particular technical skill. So it's about thinking of things that they have done. So that could be work that they've done that is not related to the field that they want to go into but can still be valuable. So work that they've done perhaps during their studies. It could be other extracurricular activities they've taken part in. So perhaps they've done some volunteering for a charity or other organisation. Perhaps they've set up a club or society within the university. So really anything that they have done that can show those skills. I think it's really important when you're writing a CV is to really make sure that you tailor that CV for each job that you're applying for. So not to have sort of one generic CV, but to really, as I say, tailor it, make it specific to the opportunity that you're looking at. So for example, you need to be identifying the skills that the employer is looking for and reflecting those in the CV. So you are going to have a range of CVs for different opportunities that you're going for. And what can be useful sometimes for some students is to create a kind of master CV that has all the information on it, all the detail about everything that you've done, and to kind of select elements of that each time that you're applying for a different opportunity. When preparing for an interview, there are a number of things that you need to do, some of which are sort of more practical and others which are more sort of about preparing your responses to the questions. I think first of all it's important to remember that you can't predict what you're going to be asked, so not to prepare answers to specific questions because it's fairly unlikely that those specific exact questions will come up in the interview. It's more about preparing your ideas around themes of things that you're likely to be asked about. And underpinning all of the questions that you're asked in an interview will be sort of two main questions really. One will be in the employer's mind, can you do the job? And the other will be, do you want to do the job? So one question is about your kind of skills and experience that you have, and the other is about your motivation and why you want the job. So there's a number of things that you can do to make sure that you can answer both those types of question. In terms of the skills and experience, it's looking at what the employer is looking for. So you have some information if you've applied for a job and you're going to an interview about what the job is about, the job description, the person specification, other information about the role. So it's looking through that, looking at what skills are required, and really trying to think of examples of things that you've done in the past that relate to that skill. A really common type of interview question or method that employers use in interviews are competency-based questions. So they ask you for examples of things that you've done in the past that relate to the skills. So if you can prepare those examples and have some in mind, then you'll be ready to use them at the interview and sort of prepare how you're going to talk about them. So that's preparation about yourself, if you like, about your skills. And then obviously you need to prepare the other part, which is the why you want the job, because that's your motivation. So think about why is it really that you want to do this role. So often it's not enough just to know about the organisation you're applying to and know what they do and which clients they have or how they work. It's also important to relate that back to you. So if the culture or ethos of the organisation or the clients that they have or the way that they work really appeals to you, you have to kind of make that connection and explain why it appeals to you. So in your preparation, you're going to be sort of reflecting on that. And I suppose as linked to that, researching the organisation more broadly. So, looking of course at their website and their reports, but other information about the organisation. If they're a large organisation, have they been in the news? What kind of issues are affecting them or affecting the sector that they operate in? So kind of just doing some preparation around that. I think my 3 top tips for students who are looking for work would be, number 1, to really do your research. Look into the sector that you want to work in, the types of organisations that you want to work for, what sort of work is out there, what's available, what opportunities are there, and link to that to try and find out a bit more about specific people who work in your industry and talk to them, meet them if you can. I think secondly, the second top tip would be about tailoring CVs, application forms, covering letters to the organisation and role that you're applying for. Don't write a generic CV, a generic covering letter and expect it to be successful. Really be specific about why you want to work for that employer and do that particular job. And I think thirdly, the top tip I could give is to be persistent and to not give up with looking for work. It can be a long process sometimes. Some industries are quite competitive, but if you do your research and tailor your applications, then you will be successful eventually and get the job that you're looking for.